Hello and welcome to Inside Indiana Business. I'm Mary Rachel Redmond in for Gary Dick this week. Well, we begin in Northwest Indiana, where one of the most populated cities in the region is in the middle of a generational transformation.
It's unique to the degree that it went from so tremendously lively to so entirely dead.
Fast forward to now, a complete overhaul taking place in downtown Hammond. The goal? To make it a go-to destination instead of another drive-through city in Lake County. Hammond leaders have been working for years with East Coast urban planner Jeff Speck's company on a plan that starts with redesigning its streets.
Every single street here is wrong. Every single street in our study area, there's something wrong with it.
So urban planners started at Hammond's core, the main drag running through downtown, putting the brakes on cars whizzing along 5-lane Holman Avenue, replacing it with a 2-lane road to make it more pedestrian friendly. A $9 million investment designed to not only create new development, but also bring Hammond back to its heyday. New housing projects are on the books, including the $28 million renovation to turn the former Calumet Bank building into a new downtown apartment complex called The Bank. 2 other housing developments also in the works, which city leaders hope will attract new retail and business to downtown. To find out more about the renaissance happening in Hammond, we're joined by longtime Mayor Tom McDermott. Mayor McDermott, glad to have you with us today. Once in a generation transformation happening in your city right now. Just talk us through all these changes.
Thank you so much. It's an honor to be on your show. It's anytime you're changing and redefining an area like we are with downtown Hammond, it doesn't come without a lot of pain. And for the businesses that have been trying to operate in a construction zone for the past 2 years, I feel for them. But I'm excited about the opportunity that's coming. I see a lot of excitement and investment taking place in downtown, and I think that has a lot to do with what the state of Indiana has done by investing in the South Shore expansion that's going right through the heart of downtown. And of course, Jeff Speck, the planner that's been helping us and guiding us along the way.
You've got several housing projects going on in downtown and around Hammond. Talk about some of those projects.
Yeah, the bank is really the old Bank Calumet building. I've been mayor for 20 years. And for about the first 5 or 6 years, it was an operating bank. And then the Bank Calumet was sold and the building was abandoned. And it's been sitting there abandoned for the better part of a decade. And it's a beautiful old building that was built, it's almost 100 years old. And it's completely getting retrofitted by a development group out of Michigan City, also with the help of the state of Indiana. And they're converting that using $28 million of private funds to help convert that into apartment buildings. And they're maintaining the character and the beauty of the building, which is the best part. So
I love that, using history to define your roots, but still with all these new improvements. How do you plan on attracting new folks to Hammond that maybe aren't familiar with all of this new change?
It's funny because when you talk to Hammond residents, it's hard for us to imagine downtown attracting Chicago residents, but with what's going on with all the investment taking place, along with the South Shore line that's coming right through the heart of downtown, younger people, professionals, they want to, and not necessarily go to work anymore. As we all know, a lot of people are working from home, and a lot of young people want to live close to a city, but not necessarily downtown with the downtown prices. And Hammond is the closest city to Chicago in the state of Indiana. We literally touch Chicago. And with this easy access with the Westlake expansion taking place, it's going to be realistic to think that we could get a lot of these young professionals from Chicago to relocate to Northwest Indiana.
And looking at Hammond 20 years ago versus today, what's the biggest difference?
Well, Hammond in general or downtown Hammond?
Both.
Well, a lot's changed. We used to have a lot more shopping, and now we shop on our phones. But the downtown Hammond's had constant problems with too much traffic going through too fast and making it uncomfortable for people to walk. And over the years, it's just slowly deteriorated. Jeff Speck, really helped us and guided us along the way. But so in my time, I've seen downtown Hammond basically, Jeff mentioned that he thought it was dying. I've seen it dying a slow death, and now I see a lot of investment taking place in its rebirth. But over the last 20 years, I've really seen the shopping go to the edges of Hammond, and it seems like the middle part of our city has been the harder part to develop. But this Westlake expansion is helping with that.
your pitch to folks looking for a new place to go in Indiana? Why should they choose Hammond?
We're the closest city in Indiana, and a lot of times, a lot of our investors, they still want to be close to Chicago, but not in Illinois because of the tax advantages that we offer. Hammond is right on the doorstep to Chicago, and we are succeeding. And I appreciate the state of Indiana for leading the way with a low tax environment, and for cities like Hammond right on the border, it's been a boom. And we're getting new residents and new businesses constantly, and they're coming from Illinois. So we just got to tout all the great advantages that Indiana offers, and they're coming right through, believe me. And it's not just stopping at Hammond.
Hammond Mayor Tom McDermott, thank you for sharing the transformation that's going on in your city. Best of luck to you in the city of Hammond.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be on your show.